Hello and welcome to Duck TV Sports. I'm Jonathan Stile.
And I'm Stephen Woodworth.
We have a lot in store for you tonight, but let's kick things off on the gridiron. After having a bye week, the Oregon football team gets back into action on Thursday when the Ducks head to Tempe to take on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Heading into the season, this matchup was supposed to have Pac-12 implications, but after struggling to find consistency this year, both teams are now fighting to get into a bowl game. The Ducks and Sun Devils are both sitting at 2-2 in the Pac-12 play and 4-3 overall. Kickoff on Thursday is set for 7:30.
The football season is officially over the halfway point, and the Ducks are looking to climb back into the top 25 and to make a bowl game for the 11th straight season. Even after five games left to play, many Duck fans are keeping an eye on the future of the program while remaining focused on the present. Lena Bond has more on the University of Oregon football recruiting process. Lena?
Thanks, guys. Although the Ducks lost key players such as Marcus Mariota, Eric Armstead, and Ifo Ekpe-Olomu to the 2015 NFL Draft, the Oregon football recruiting team is keeping a one door closes, another one opens mentality. Even though the Ducks are unranked for the first time in 6 years, a string of 4-star recruits have verbally committed to Oregon, and one 5-star USC decommit has scheduled a Ducks visit. Thomas Ahrens, Director of Recruiting Operations, stated that he believes big recruits are interested in Oregon because of the opportunities there are for playing time in nationally broadcasted games.
We have a saying with anybody that's doing well on Sundays is going to help kids on Fridays. So getting those guys on Fridays committed to us to play on Saturdays to ultimately play on Sundays. So any success we have, and obviously Marcus and Eric Armstead were tremendous teammates, tremendous players. Those guys, it all speaks really, really well for our program. And obviously I think recruits, when they're looking at that, they want to know obviously a place where they can get a degree, but they want to see on the field success. And definitely the NFL is a big part of that.
But it isn't just stars or rankings that the Oregon football recruiting team looks at.
We don't look at stars at all. For us, there's a whole background of what we do, but there's so much more that goes into it, especially in becoming an Oregon Duck. We're looking into guys, what they're doing on social media, what type of person they are at the school, what people outside of the football program have to say about these guys that we're recruiting. So on top of them being really good football players, they're really good guys.
The Oregon football recruiting team hopes to bring in 50 to 75 potential recruits before the season ends. Reporting from Autzen Stadium, I'm Lena Bond. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Lena. The Oregon volleyball team had a tough weekend against both of the teams from LA. On Friday, the Ducks held late leads in each of the 4 sets against the UCLA Bruins, but were only able to close out the second set, thus losing 3-1. Not being able to close out sets has become a common theme for this Oregon squad. On Sunday, the number 1 ranked and undefeated USC Trojans showed the Ducks why they are the best team in the nation, sweeping them in straight sets. The Trojans will now head to Seattle for a top 5 matchup against the Washington Huskies on Friday.
The Oregon volleyball team now embarks on a road trip to the Rocky Mountains to face 2 teams that it has previously seen this season at Matthew Knight Arena. The first matchup pits the Ducks against the Utah Utes on Friday. The Ducks previously beat the Utes in 5 sets on Saturday, October 3rd. Utah sits at 7-14 on the season and has been since struggling, losing 9 straight matches. The trip wraps up Saturday in Boulder against the Colorado Buffaloes, whom the Ducks squandered a big lead en route to a loss. The key for the Ducks in this match will be to hold the lead and finish for the win.
The Oregon soccer team came up just short this past weekend after suffering 2 one-goal losses against both of the Arizona schools. It started on Friday in Tucson when the Ducks were taking on the Arizona Wildcats. With the game tied 1-1 late, Arizona's Haley Silverberg was able to find the back of the net, and the Wildcats walked away with a 2-1 victory. Things didn't get any better for the Ducks on Sunday against Arizona State after the Sun Devils scored on a penalty kick in the 25th minute. The Ducks were unable to respond, and the 1-0 loss was the team's 6th straight loss of the season.
Following a tough road trip, the team returns home to face even more tougher competition late in the season, as the Ducks welcome the Washington schools to Pape Field, where the team looks to improve offensively. On Friday, Oregon opens up the homestand against the Washington State Cougars, who currently sit at 11-5 on the season. The Cougars will be led by Caitlin Johnson and Courtney Gutline. Both of these players are tied for second in the Pac-12 for scoring 6 goals apiece. The Ducks conclude the weekend with the final home game of the year against the school's rival, the Washington Huskies, on Sunday afternoon.
For most University of Oregon students, the John E. Jayqua Center is a magical wonderland shaped like an ice cube. For others, they simply know it as a place where student athletes go. To find out more about what exactly goes on in that building and what students think about it, we send it to Emily Hogborough. Emily?
Thanks, guys. Now behind me is the John E. Jayqua Center, a center dedicated to Oregon student athletes. Now, although the center is completely made of glass, it's difficult to see what really happens inside. Now, the first floor is in fact open to the public, but it's the upper floors that have us all questioning what athletes are really doing inside. We're taking it to the streets of the University of Oregon to ask students what they think of the center and what really happens within. What was your initial thought of the Jaqua Center?
Honestly, I thought it was the coolest building on campus. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, definitely favorite building. I have so many pictures of it.
First, when I saw the Jaqua, I thought it was like a giant ice cube or like giant aquarium. I didn't know what it was at first.
The Jaqua to me, it's really nice looking. So it's really like clean looking. So it's kind of like exclusive, gives an exclusive feeling a little bit. It's like really special for the athletes. So it's kind of like hard to approach a little bit, but yeah.
Visually, the Jaqua Center, compared to all the other buildings, it's more, you would say, pristine, a nice sanction just for the athletes.
If you were to go about sneaking into the upper floors of the Jaqua, what method, technique would you do to get in?
Since I'm pretty small, I would probably get into one of the athletes' bags, so it would just like take me in like stowaway or something like that.
I would definitely sneak in, for sure. I would just kind of like
Go in with a group of people.
go in with the squad.
Sneak attack.
They go
squad
together,
up,
so we would just slide in.
team,
You know, the
lacrosse.
football players are pretty tall,
Yeah.
so I think we could just kind of
Go
sneak
in
in
with the
between them.
Basketball too.
According to students, the Jaqua Center remains one of the most intimidating buildings on campus. Reporting from inside the Jaqua, I'm Emily Hogbro. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Emily. Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Duck TV Sports. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Duck TV Sports for the latest coverage on all Oregon athletics.
And be sure to visit our website for game coverage, articles, analysis, and much more.
I'm Jonathan Stile.
And I'm Stephen Woodworth.
Have a great night, Eugene, and we'll see you again next week.